Right, this is falling things, so make sure that you're using the, not just MGH, but the GMM over R squared sort of stuff. Radius, well, what we know is a velocity, and we know a total period, which is time. So, it goes constant speed, so we can use this. So R is T times V over 2 pi. Don't forget to put parentheses around 2 pi. T is, use the seconds version. Either put 2 pi in parentheses or put 6.283 instead. That's close enough for physics. Don't forget the units, since this is actually numbers. Okay, so what forces are involved? Gravitational and centripetal. Please balance forces. The little m cancels. I just want to remind you the small m is the whatever's going around Mars. In this case, it's a Mars Global Surveyor, which notice cancels. We can cancel an R. Move the other R over. Okay, so M is V squared R over G, and don't forget R is the distance away from the center. It's not the altitude, which is above the surface. You'd have to subtract the radius of Mars. Okay. Don't forget units. This is kilograms. Mechanical energy, kinetic energy plus the negative potential energy. So don't forget the GMM over R, negative GMM over R is one of the formulas on the magic sheet. So notice that G capital M is V squared times R, so G M over R is MV squared. Little m. So, the total energy is negative 1/2 of the kinetic energy. Oh, not 1/2. It's negative kinetic energy. sorry, negative kinetic energy. And that the potential energy is twice that amount. 5.38 billion joules. Okay. All right. If it's in a lower orbit, if the period squared is proportional to the radius cubed,
you don't need to know
that. If the radius decreases, so does t, so less radius, less period. Okay. Let's see. We're going to balance angular momentum. Now, notice that if you're above the surface, you have to add the radius of Mars itself. That's where this comes in. Just a little note, r is the distance from the center, not the surface. Okay, so just a reminder that L is the label we use for angular momentum, RMV. So same mass, so we can ignore it. I'm going to add, just so that it's easier. And substitute in, they gave you a speed at the closer distance.
Yeah, I forgot to put the times 10 to the 6 on the second one, but it's times 10 to the 6.
Just a reminder not to use too much precision in your final answer. Okay, units. Let's see, what points are needed? 2 points for the first section. 1 point for V is 2 pi r over t, or bt equals 2 pi r, 1 equivalent of that. 1 point for the final answer with units. 2 points for the section, 1 for balancing gravitational and centripetal, and 1 point for getting a reasonable answer for the mass of Mars. This is 4 points. Right, gravitational and kinetic and negative gravitational potential energy, and then 2 more points for getting the final answer with the correct sign. This section D is 3 points, 1 point for correctly setting less than, and 2 points for a good explanation. Last section is 2 points, 1 for the radiuses and 1 for balancing angular momentum. And then finally, units. So notice you can get units points even if you don't get the actual correct answer. And 1 point for sig figs, 2, 3, 4, 4 sig figs on at least 3 answers. So that's how they grade things that have numbers in them.